Hello and welcome to this episode of Mad Mike's Garage. In today's video, we're going to be changing out the back brake pads on my wife's 2017 Lexus RX 350 F Sport. I don't know if they're the same as the normal non-F Sport varieties. I don't know if they're bigger or not. But to start out with, you'll need a 21mm to get your lug nuts off and your special adapter socket. Alright, some people like watching tires come off. 21mm. Here's our special socket. I'm glad I had an impact for this one. I do have this. This one's turned down from where it can be. I think it's on setting 1. Those ones had to spin back on to get them to pop out of the socket. So we'll get our tire off here and we'll see. Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna need tires on this next inspection cycle. Alright. Let's get this in your teeth. We gotta get this bolt out and this bolt out here. You might not be able to see them. I'll spin you around the back side so you can see what's going on here. Hopefully I cannot see what you can see right here, but this bolt here, which looks to be a 12mm, and this bolt here. I'm not going to have the luxury of using the impact like I did on the on the front of the vehicle. So let's get these out, and I'll just have to use a wrench. I had to grab a thinner 17mm for that side for some reason. It was not cooperating. The jaws were too thick on the other wrench. It fit on the top bolt. Couldn't get them here on this bottom one, so yeah, I was hoping this was going to be a super quick one. Unfortunately, nothing's quick when you're sitting here with a wrench. So hopefully get this done in time. Vehicle's needed here in about another hour. So, and I still have the other side to do. So I'm gonna try to make you a decent video here, but I also need to keep moving. So here's our two bolts out of the caliper itself, and they are 14mm. And then we're just doing since we're just doing the pads themselves, we don't need to change anything else. So I see I have all kinds of fun electronics hanging off the back of this, and I'm trying not to mess up. And that should be all I really need to do. This is a single piston design. It'd be much easier to push that in. There you can see our brake pad itself. And I recommend reusing all of these factory clips when you can. So let me get these pads out of the way, and then I'll show you what for new stuff we have. And these ones aren't even that bad, but we're here. Don't hate with my high-tech tools here. I don't know what happened to my actual caliper piston. I must have barred it out or something, I don't remember, but this worked great on the front. Seems to be not working as good on the back, but I think we can still make it work. Alright, we have our new box of brake pads here. They are Pawsy Quiet. It's their eccentric brand ceramic brake pad set 105.18050. And of course they come with your bag. I don't use this aftermarket stuff. I just keep the factory ones on. So when you get your old pads off, first thing you'll do is make sure the new ones are the same, and then match up whichever side you're going to take that you took it off with, which this was the back. So this one will go in the back, and I need to remove this clip and put it on this side and install it on the back. Same way with the front. I'll be back when I get the pad. Okay, so we'll slide our brake pad here, and then make sure you push down on your tab. Reinstall your factory clips. Leave these ones in the caliper brackets. In my opinion, you do you. This is how I do. Give people some tips to get started. Come up with everything on your own, including your torque specs. So back one's a little harder to see, but there she is. Get a better shot here. Bring you in here on the side. Hopefully I get all these pictures. Turn out pretty good here. There. Back up just a little bit more. There you can see the new pads installed, and that's what they should look like. Okay. So now we need to see if we got enough. I don't think we did. I didn't get the piston pushed out quite far enough, so I'll have to revisit that, and I'll be right back. Hello YouTube. Well, you're not gonna guess what I just got into. I had to hook up this little battery to my parking brake and get it in the right polarity and run the electric parking brake back, so I can push the piston the rest of the way in. So that's what I've been doing. Wasn't too bad, but just so you know, you're gonna need some form of 12 volt, whether it be like a 12 volt jump pack or something to give you 12 volts. And then when you turn it on, be watching the piston to make sure and mine was going the wrong way, but the piston was coming out real slow. I mean real slow. So I flipped the polarity, and it ran for probably 20 seconds or so, and then it finally, you could hear it stopped. It bottomed out. So I'm gonna push the piston the rest of the way back in and get this brake job done. Oh, that's much better. We'll grab our bolts, and then can't forget to put this electrical connector back in as well. I'll just wait till I get everything bolted up first. I would never guess I would have been using a battery to change back brake pads, but yeah, I did. Okay, back to our 14 millimeter. You don't need to watch me do this boring stuff, but that should be about it. Okay, so wrapping up, 14 millimeter for your caliper bolt. You'll need a 17 if your slider starts to spin. Pop it out. Make sure you get yourself, be prepared. You're gonna need yourself some little test leads or something, some way to get 12 volt up to the back of this connector here. And I'll give you a little better shot of it here. So you have to get down inside these two pins and get it going in the right polarity. I mean, it's no huge deal, like I said, if you get it going in the wrong polarity. But what I did was I took one of my pads off, hung the caliper back over just in case some crazy stuff. I didn't want the piston flying out, but it was coming out so slow. It was fine. But I'd still recommend, you know, take one of your brake pads out, put your caliper over this, unless you have one of the actual tools, like to push the piston back in. I ended up using a pair of channel locks, big gel channel locks that I had here, to finish pushing it in. I know it's not the way you're supposed to do, but that's how I did it here. All right, I just whipped through the other side. You know how it normally is. It takes you an hour to do one side, 10 minutes to do the other. This side went very easy compared to the rest. I already had the tools. Like I said, you'll need your 17 for your slider. If it spins, 14 for your bolt. Change out, in my case, I changed out one of my brake pads. Push the piston back as far as it would go. You'll feel it stop. That's when you know you're against this electric parking brake. Once you're against this electric parking brake, you need to hook your alligator clips up. Make sure they don't touch inside there. Get yourself a 12 volt power source of your choice. And what you're gonna do is you'll hear this motor run. And it's going the right way. So you'll hear this. There, hear that? That's when you know you hear the motor, it deadlocks. You're done. That parking brake is the whole way back. So let me see here. I have my wires backwards actually. So I have the red wire is actually going to the negative of my battery, and the black wire is going to the positive. So keep that in mind. These are backwards. You're going to want the hot on the right side to get it to go back in. So that being said, now I can push my piston back the rest of the way, and I'll be able to put my other brake pad on the outside, and we should be good to go at that point. So there you can see the piston is still it's still pushed out. Now when that motor runs back in, that piston will not go in. What it's doing is it's turning the gears back inside, so you still have to push the piston in. Now if your polarity is going the wrong way, you're going to see that piston coming back, walking back out towards your brake pad there. So I hope this helped. I'll give you a final wrap up here when I'm done. Alright, in conclusion, what you're going to need is a 14 millimeter to get your caliper bolt out. If the slider spins, you'll need a 17. I had to use this old beat up one because the jaws were narrower, and it would fit on that slider. It doesn't have a real wide landing for the wrench. I reused my old clips. Just again, the part number for the rear brake pads for a Lexus RX 350, a 2017 model year, 105.18050. Here you can see where the pads were starting to wear down. They weren't wearing right at the very bottom, and both sides were like that. So you'll need some test leads and a 12 volt power source. Really don't need the test leads, but I don't know how else. You're gonna need something small like these alligator clips to get into that connector. And then make sure you're going the right polarity. You'll be able to tell if it isn't, but I would still either, the way to do this job, instead of using a pair of channel locks or a caulking gun to get that piston back, you can probably just go to like AutoZone and rent the tool. You pay for it up front and then bring it back. It's the caliper, piston. I don't even think they cost that much. don't know where mine got to, and I just wanted to get it done. I didn't feel like going anywhere. So, I mean, you can do it with a big wide pair of, if you got a big wide pair of channel locks, you can do them with them. You can also use a C-clamp if you just have like a C-clamp, or even those, I don't even know, those pistol grip ones like used for woodworking mainly. I've successfully been able to use those before. So, except it's not the way you're supposed to do it, but it's the way I did it. So, don't forget you need your 21mm to get your wheel off, and of course your special socket. So, hope you learned something. This is just how I do it. Haters, go ahead and hate. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I'm just showing people what to expect when they get in there. And I did not expect to need a battery to back the parking brake off, but it actually wasn't that big of a deal. So please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on Mad Mike's Garage.